Hi, welcome to Knits Up. I'm Mindy, your hostess, otherwise known as Knitter CNY. You can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as Knitter CNY, and you can find a podcast group on Ravelry as well as a Facebook page. I think that about covers it. If you are not already subscribed to me on YouTube, please go over there and subscribe if you want to see videos of this. But I decided to do an audio podcast because it's been quite a while since I've done one. So, it's been 2 weeks since we've talked, and I wanted to let you know what I've been working on, what I've received in the mail, and what I've bought and what I've planned to do. So that covers a lot of territory, but it's not going to take a lot of time. I thought I would start with the big project that I finished a week and a half ago, which was the blanket for my friend's son who's in college. I used Bernat baby blanket, and I think it was the Pebble Beach colorway. It was brown, beige, and cream colored, variegated. I used 5 skeins of that and made the basket weave Afghan basket weave blanket from Bernat. That's a free pattern on their website. My friend liked it so much, he said, I'd really like a blanket like that in, a different color or something like that, or the same kind of yarn, because the yarn is so soft. So I decided I was going to go buy some yarn, and Facebook Marketplace has been my go-to place lately, and I bought yarn there. I bought Bernat Blanket Double Take, which was a yarn that was produced, I believe, for Michaels, and it's striped. It has blue on one side and sort of bluish gray on the other, so it's striped lengthwise. So I'll get sort of a marled effect, I believe. I bought 5 skeins of that for $20, and the color is called Bluish. So I'm going to make the exact same blanket. I thought I was going to make the Bricks blanket, but it turns out the Bricks blanket only takes 4 skeins, and I've got 5. So I know that the basket weave Afghan that I made took 5, and what I did was end up doing an edging on it at the top for about 2 to 3 inches to just make it work as a throw. So that should be good. So I'm planning to do that. I think I used a 10 millimeter hook on that. So we'll go with probably the same thing. I think it was a size N hook. And I used Prim ergonomic hooks, which I really do like the Prim ergonomic hooks a lot. One thing I saw this week that I was kind of interested in, and then I saw kind of a review on it and decided I didn't want to buy it, is that Boye, Boye, put out some hooks for their resin hooks. And I think they're supposed to be like Furls resin hooks, only they're not like Furls resin hooks because they have Boye's head on them. The point of them and stuff is like the Boye hook, and I do not like those. I've discovered I think they call it an inline hook, sort of like a Susan Bates type of hook, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, using the wrong terminology there, but they were retailing, I believe, for $10 a hook at Joann's is the only place I've seen them, and I came across them because Boye was doing a giveaway on Instagram, and I'm like, what are these hooks? I've never seen these before, but they look ergonomic. So if Boye is your hook of choice, you may want to check those out at Joann's. And of course, Joann's always has coupons and sales, so you can probably get them for less than $10 a hook. The other purchase I made this week was a knitting machine. And for those longtime listeners and viewers, you know that I have a Bond sweater machine, B-O-N-D, sweater machine, from back in the 90s when they were popular and they were in stores and all over. There was a TV infomercial for them. and I bought one. I used it a little bit, but I didn't use it quite to the extent I thought I was going to. Well, I came across a Singer HK100, and I thought this would be a really good idea for me to buy this. I have the space available. I have a table already. Turns out this machine was $90 that I paid for it. I'm going to guess that it would retail for a whole lot more than that if it was still available for retail. And it is pristine. It has never been used. I talked to the people who were selling it, which was at a Episcopalian church sale out in Western New York, and they said the lady who had, or the lady's husband who had donated it, the lady had made a lot of things on another knitting machine. He thought it would be a good idea to buy her another one, and she never used it. It just sat in the box all these years. So it comes with a VHS tape. I've got to go down cellar and pull up my VCR. Those are ancient things from 20 years ago, and hopefully they both play. I don't know that my VCR works because it's been sitting in the cellar for 10 years. So we'll see. The first thing I do want to knit on it is a Caron Big Cake that is in the colorway Cranberry Crisp. These are so fall colors. There's like a pumpkin color, an olive green, a purple, a dusty mauve, a brighter pinkish cranberry color. And they're just the perfect fall colors. They're kind of dusty, misty colors, and there's 2 progressions of these that go through in this cake. And Caron Big Cakes is 300 grams, and there's approximately 600 yards with this. So I could knit conceivably a blanket with this and then just edge it with crochet. The other things I've been working on are some socks. I have Barocco socks, and it's sort of a cranberry, orange, black, cream colorway, and I'm using the Addy squared Flexi Flips double points that are extra long. So I'm probably using the wrong term there, but they're the squared that are longer, and they're the flexible tipped double points. So far I kind of like them. I also have a 60-inch 2.5 millimeter Addy squared circular that I really like too. Very smooth joins. So far I'm not having any problems, and the 2.5 is getting me an easier sock faster. The other pair of socks that I'm working on are Mani Pedi socks from Lion brand. I'm still working on the first one. It's thinner yarn. I'm not so in love with it as I thought I was going to be. And then I have also a pair of Peyton's Croy socks going toe up on 2.25 millimeter needles. I started them on Knitter's Pride carbons on a circular doing magic loop, and did one toe, and then I transferred that toe once I got up to 64 stitches onto 2 circulars, which I think are Haya, if I'm not mistaken. They could be some other brand, but so far they're working pretty well. And then I started the other toe. I started both socks at 24 stitches and did Judy's Magic cast on, which is really super easy to do once you've done it once. And you just remember that you wrap from the outside in, and you get a really nice cast on. And then I just did knit in the front and the back on all 4 corners. To do my increases every other row, I would increase 4 stitches. until I got up to 64 stitches. So, and then I'm probably going to do the legs on, once I get past the heel, which I'm probably going to do the thumb joint heel, that is the Laura Neal heel from Sock Architecture, that is in the Craftsy class that I own on heels and toes. Craftsy's running some specials now. If you haven't joined Craftsy, and you like in-depth content for stuff, it might be a good choice for you. I've taken a bunch of classes on there. I am a premium member. I think it's $39.99 per 6 months, but I use that a lot when I go to do something. I'm going to be doing the fox paws shawl as well. I bought the yarn before Blueprint got rid of all their yarn, and Craftsy was transferred from Blueprint, from NBC Universal, back to people who would be independently running it. Not the original group that started Craftsy, but to a third party who runs other craft model railroad type platforms. And so these are my plans. And I'm also very excited because I am, on a personal note, getting rid of my 1983 sleeper sofa out of my living room. This was something my mom bought when I was a kid. It's got surface staining on it, and it really, really, really needs to go. And turns out I sold it for free. So I guess you don't really sell it, but I'm getting rid of it for somebody who's looking for a sleeper sofa. And it's in pretty good shape for the condition it's in, but I've got to kind of clean up in the living room so they can get it out the front door at noon today. And pardon all the noise that's been in the background if you can hear anything. I've had stuff in the washer, and I'll be continuing to do laundry. Once I pull that VCR up, I'll watch the tape. I probably won't get to using the machine until maybe later. I'm still trying to finish a blanket. That's the other thing I'm working on, is a blanket that I started a week ago Friday down at my friend's house. And it is a Lion brand homespun blanket in 3 different colors. One is green with a rusty color in it, and then it goes to a orange and rust color, and then finally it goes to a burgundy color. And I'm doing the Lion brand diagonal baby blanket, which is like the dishcloth, the grandma's best dishcloth that everybody has probably made over the years. It starts with 4 stitches, goes up to a certain number, and then decreases. So you make a diamond, but it's really a square. And so I'm doing that. I'm hoping I don't run out of yarn. If I do, I just have some plain black homespun that I'll use for that. I'm trying to make hats for the rescue mission, and I'm trying to make blankets for Project Linus. So this is going to be a Project Linus blanket. Part of the knitting machine idea was I've got a lot of Karen cakes that need to go. I also have a lot of Bernat blanket that I can crochet by hand, and hopefully make some more blankets. I just am over the whole, I'm going to knit slowly and try and make something. I can do that for sweaters for myself. I have no problem doing that, but a big piece of flat knitting, I can just be able to whip off on the machine, and then at my leisure, crochet around it, make a border, and it's a blanket. And then we've used up some of the yarn, and it'll be easier. But of course, the learning curve for a knitting machine is a little bit higher than what you would think it would be. So I'll be doing that this week. I've got all these socks and things. I have to get proper lighting in that room, although I do have an OTT light in that room, which would be good. OTT. Check them out if you've never owned an OTT light. I own 2 of them. The one out here in the living room, I use a regular lamp that has an LED bulb in it, and then I use an OTT light that's a tabletop model that sits on my end table and gives me sufficient light for what I want to use, because I have like point lighting, I guess you'd call it, more so than overhead lighting in this room. So that is everything I have been working on, everything I bought. Well, that's not really true. I also bought Red Heart Roll With It Tweed in a colorway that is grays and browns and marled. I'm debating whether I want to take that back or not. I bought 7 skeins of it at $5 a piece, and I should really take it back because I'm never going to use it. So maybe I'll take that back this week and call it good. I don't know. It's pretty. I really do want to make a sweater out of it, but how many sweaters can I make? Future plans also include a Lopi sweater made with Norse spun, which is, I believe, a Peyton's yarn. It's been a long time since I've looked at it. It was something I bought at auction 2.5 years ago, and I've never used it. I also have like Plymouth Encore. I have probably 20 skeins of Plymouth Encore that I can make stuff with. And I just got yarn, a lot of yarn, and I really, really need to use it, or I really, really need to sell it, but I don't want to sell it. It would just, I don't think it's in, I don't want to sell it. It sounds terrible, but I don't want to sell it. I did give some of it away. I wound up mailing some of my yarn to Bangladesh. I did not specify in the video that the drawing should only be in the United States, but I did honor the spirit and intent of the giveaway, which was international, because I never specified it was only the United States, and you can't go back and change these things once you've picked a winner. Oops. So it'll be a long time before I do another giveaway, and when I do, we're going to slap only the United States all over everything. That's not to get my international listeners and viewers upset, but to say that it's easier to track shipping when you're not sending it to a foreign country. I still have no idea whether the person actually ever got the yarn and the crochet hooks that I sent. I sent them through the United States Postal Service, but once they hit Bangladesh, it was all their local stuff, so I have no idea. I never asked. I'm assuming they got them okay. I packaged up everything pretty well and put them all in plastic sandwich bags, so everything was protected. So you won't be seeing any giveaways soon, but if you do, it'll probably be sock yarn, because that I can put in a package and mail out, and I have enough yarn for 37 pairs of socks. Now 38, 39, 40, 41, because I bought 2 skeins of that Mariner yarn from yarnlane.com and 4 50-gram balls of Peyton's Croy in Mulberry Stripes and Midnight Stripes, I think are the colorways, from Mary Maxim a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago. I've been on this yarn buying spree, probably because I was going through some emotional stuff, and now I recognize that I was going through emotional stuff, and things cannot fill the void of emotional stuff. You have to deal with the emotions, the actual emotions, and deal with that stuff. And sublimating your feelings in yarn is not going to change that. Although crocheting and knitting do help my mental health a whole lot, because I am doing something productive. I am doing something for others, especially with the charity stuff that I've been doing. And a lot of this stuff has to get out of here. So I've got to wash up some of the blankets today. Hopefully I get the homespun one done today. and we'll see how this goes, because I'll be able to rearrange my living room now that the sleeper sofa is going to go bye-bye. And that will make my life a hell of a lot easier, because it'll be gone. I just, I have 2 recliners, and I have a chair that has an ottoman with it. I have a collection of end tables. Everything needs to go. It all needs to go. And I need to have space. I just have odds and ends of things everywhere. And the house is not clean. My little corner where I record is clean. That's because I put special effort into doing that, and that's only a corner. I did get rid of some figurines that my mom had, some Fenton art glass that went a couple of weeks ago. I need to get rid of more stuff like that, so that things are cleaned out of here. I need to make the house my own. My dad's been living in the nursing home for at least 6 years, so it's time to make the house my own, not dad and mom's house anymore with all the crap that's in it. It's a 1,000 square foot ranch house, and it really, really needs my touch, which should not make it look like it's a resting place for everything. So that's what I'm working on. Many projects, because my mind is a little scattered. And I've been working on things that need to get done. I finished some things, so that's good. And they're going to the right people. So I'm hoping that you guys tell me what you're working on. And please, like I said, if you are not a subscriber on YouTube, I normally do video posts. I felt I needed to do an audio post this week, only because I think some people need to hear my voice who don't normally hear my voice. And please go craft something. It is good for your mental health to do so. And I'll see you next week.